Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am a self-love coach here today to share with you what you can do to rekindle the relationship with your body. Because chances are high when you've dieted for years on end that you're not the biggest fan of your body and you're not really trusting your body's cues and needs anymore. And it feels kind of scary to just listen and see what your body needs and just act on that. That's the most natural thing, and we were born with that, and yet we're so scared of it because years of dieting have taught us you need to listen to the rules and follow the exercise schedule. So here I'm just going to give you 5 simple things that you can do to reignite the flame and the relationship with your body. And it's not a complicated 3 months 83-step process. It's just some helpful tips, 5 things that you can do, and you can do this today. Right now, as we are here in this space together, you can start with this. And because I really do believe that it doesn't need to be complicated to rekindle that relationship with your body. So let's start with the first one. And that is to check in with your feelings. I would advise you to find a way to set yourself a timer for 3 times a day. For example, 9, noon, and 3, or 11, 3, and 6 p.m., whatever works good for you. Maybe in your phone, there's also apps for this, where you're just going to check in with your feelings. And I'm just going to give you 3 questions here to reflect on your state, on your emotional state in that moment. The first one is just asking yourself what feeling best represents your current state. It can be one, it can be several. So whenever the time is there for you to check in, you're going to ask yourself, okay, how do I feel right now? And maybe you say, I feel bored, I feel lonely, I feel anxious, I feel stressed, I feel frustrated, I feel really happy, I feel joyful, whatever comes up. And sometimes it's one feeling, sometimes it's 20. And no judgment, just let them come up and see what's there. And then the second question is, if your best friend came to you and shared those feelings with you, how would you respond? What would you say? What might be something that you do for your best friend? So getting a feeling of, okay, how do I handle this when it's not me? Because then it's also so much easier to do it for yourself. And this third question is then, if your body could talk, if you figured out your feelings, and how would you respond if your friend came to you with those feelings? The third question is then, if your body could talk, what would your body say to you in that moment as you are feeling XYZ, anxious, joyful, happy, confused, scared? And just see what comes up. Sometimes there's nothing, sometimes there's a lot. Just play with it a little and approach this with a lot of curiosity. No judgment, just curiosity. So that's the first thing. The second action you can take to establish trust with your body again is to do the most natural thing we all do every day, all the time, and that is breathing. Super simple. Breathing is such a great gift because we do it naturally. We don't have to think about it. You're just breathing all day, right? You don't have to think about inhaling and exhaling and whatnot. Your body just does it naturally. So we want to embrace this for this second exercise where you're just going to take 2 minutes, put yourself a timer, or say, okay, I'm going to take mindfully 10 breaths. And ideally, you want your exhale to be at least as long, if not longer, than your inhale. And then just notice what your current state is before you do the exercise and then afterwards, and see if anything has shifted. The idea of this is that we tune into ourselves and we listen to what is there. And we open ourselves up to exploring ourselves and being curious about how our body feels. And the great thing is, again, we all know how to breathe, right? You already know how to do this. So this is the simplest thing ever. But it can do so much in building trust and learning to communicate on a regular basis with your body again, and allowing the body's needs and signals to come up. The third exercise that you can do to rebuild trust with your body is to say, I love you to yourself. So I would recommend that you attach this to a habit that you already have, for example, brushing your teeth at night. And then before you do that, say, I love you to yourself in the mirror. So you're going to look at yourself and just say, I love you for about 10 times. And in the beginning, the chances are good that you're going to feel like a complete phony. and it's not going to be believable and you feel like an imposter. But over time, it will become a habit and you're going to start to believe it. So, this is just basically turning this love confession to yourself into an affirmation. And over time, it will become more comfortable and you will start to believe it. So the number 4 action step I want to give you here is super juicy. It's journaling on the dream relationship with your body. This is such a game changer. So what you're going to do here is you're going to sit down and you're going to think about what would that dream partnership with your body look like? Because your body is your partner for life. She ain't going anywhere, right? She can't unless you're there too. So if you could map out a dream relationship with your body, what would that look like? How would you talk to her? What would you do with her? Where would you take her? How would you dress her if you were madly in love with one another? And just journal on that, on these questions a little bit. And if you want to take it to the next level, but this is going to be super, like, so juicy, and definitely have some tissues ready for this. If you switch roles, so you're going to journal one more time, but you're going to switch into the role of your body and you're going to use these same questions. What would my dream relationship with your name here look like? How would I love to be dressed? What kind of things would I love to do? How would I like to talk with her? And to see what comes up if you were your body and you would have that, you would map out that dream relationship with yourself, what would that look like? And again, have some tissues ready. This can be super, super, super emotional and wonderful at the same time, but such a game changer for the relationship that you have with your body. And then the 5th exercise I want to give you for rekindling the relationship with your body is to do something that brings you joy. Because years of dieting, usually we don't have nearly as much joy as we can have in life, because dieting is no fun. You have to stick to the exercise schedules and the diet plans, you're counting calories or whatever it is you're doing in your diets. This is no fun. This is so much effort and willpower and forcing yourself to do stuff, and it sucks so much joy out of our lives. And what I want to do here with this exercise is help you to go back to this joyful state that we are all naturally meant to be in. So the first thing, there's 2 parts here. The first thing that you're going to do is just write down a list. You don't need more than 5 minutes for this. Write down a list of all the things that bring you joy. This can be, taking a walk in the park or going for a bike ride, reading a book, listening to music, dancing in your underwear in your living room, whatever you love to do and whatever brings you joy. Just make a list of that. And then you're going to find time in your calendar, maybe once a week or every other week, where you map out anything between 20 minutes and an hour. And once the time is there, don't schedule or don't plan what you're going to do in that time beforehand. Just wait for the appointment to come up. And once the time is there, you're going to take a list of joyful things that you'd love to do. And then you're just going to decide intuitively, okay, what would feel most joyful for me in that moment? And then you're just going to go and do that. Because often we are really good at planning and like, okay, what can I do? And oh yeah, I'm so in the mood for this. I'm going to plan it for like Thursday afternoon at 3. But once Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. comes, we no longer want it. That is why we wait for the appointment to come and then ask ourselves, what are we in the mood for? This will help you tune into your intuition and to see what your body is looking for and is desiring in that moment. So those are the 5 things that you can do to rekindle the relationship with your body and reignite that flame between the two of you, because it's just dying to be nourished and become this beautiful bonfire for life. And even if you've decided already years ago, dieting is not for me anymore and I want to do something else, it can take some time to really rekindle that relationship with your body and go back to trusting one another. And I just want to remind you here to give yourself some grace and space for the relationship with your body to rekindle again and reignite that spark and that flame. The conditioning that we've received from diet culture, it runs deep, and we've done it for years. Your job is to just peel back the layers of the diets and go back to the default, which is just having this beautiful communication with your body, and trust also that your body is doing her part. It's communicating with you, and it's your job to figure out, oh, what is she actually saying? And go back to the default of receiving the messages and not questioning them. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments which of these actions you want to try to rekindle the relationship with your body. Or do you maybe have other actions that I haven't mentioned that have helped you in the past to rekindle the relationship with your body? Let me know.